Let's do this. I know it's been a while, but it's time. We're going to call this Fiberglass Freedom Machine Day. All right, lifers, this is what we're all here for. Let's do this. Wave, Special Assistant Jack. That's nice.
My camera's bigger than yours.
Because you're overcompensating for something.
Oh, sure.
What do you say we go out and do some blasting?
All right, sounds good to me.
Let's do this. All right, fuel pumps are on. Set you down. And let's go to the rear motor first. This guy wants us to get out of here, so I guess we need to get out of here. Got a good idle going on, which has been very unique for this boat. We got Special Assistant Jack at the other camera. We're gonna go see if we can burn some petrol.
Of course it gets wavy a minute once we start.
This boat don't care about no damn waves.
You're right.
never bring it here, but here it is. Yeah! Woo!
Jump in, do a flip.
All right, now what the hell you got to say?
It's crazy. I've never been on anything faster in my life.
Oh yeah, you have, but that's another story for another time. But
Oh, God. Look at that. Freedom.
freedom, baby, freedom! Woo! But we can't be here all day because he's got to go play the foosball. I'm going to give you my assessment while it's in the water. She's still a little grumpy. It always is a little grumpy. Like I said, it needs to be run, fine-tune, run, fine-tune, run, fine-tune. It's just that between special assistant schedule, the tides, the park, everything else, it's really hard to get a total package going together, but we did today. And yeah, that was well worth the ride. But now we have to go way the hell back down there. Because like I said, he's got to go play the foosball practice. almost 64 mile an hour. That's highway speeds. Damn! You ready to call it a day? Go home with smiles? Or you want to break something?
I don't know.
I think we ought to go home with smiles. It's late in the season to go home breaking shit. We can do that next spring and then fix it. Damn! Damn! 64 mile an hour. Damn! In a 55-year-old boat. Damn! Alright, let's take this bitch home. This is when you try to end the season on a high note.
Yeah.
Now, if it don't just crash into the rocks on the way in, we're all good. This is our drag strip. They sound so good. In here it's rattle, rattle, bang, bang, rattle, bang, bang. Not many people get the opportunity to sit in their motorbox.
Yeah.
So we got to get out of here. This is an inboard. Aircraft carrier. I think like 3 minutes ahead of which way you want to go. For the 19, I can parallel park it. This, a windy day, I'd probably be on the beach. Problem. The boat's geared so high, it's not made for being in round docks. In which case, that basically means that it's a point and forget. And in a dock, you can't really point and forget. Alright, let's get this dirty bay water out of there before it touches something it shouldn't. Because we don't want it to touch too much. We've got water to turn on. It's flushing time! Alright, now we get to go reverse the process. Okay, now I just crack this one. And we turn this one closed. After such a great ride, this has me a bit concerned and a bit baffled once again. This is my puke tank for my V drive, and even though the V drive in the Beesmeyer is kind of set up the same way, it has a little cup down here, and that's it, and nothing ever comes out of it. This one, on the other hand, likes to spray shit everywhere for some reason. So I went ahead and I bought this little puke tank, old puke tank, and cut it down to a smaller size. I mean, it literally holds enough that the whole thing can empty into it. But that's why I'm a little concerned. I actually have fluid coming out of the vent, so that does have me a little concerned. But at the same time, it seems to have just stayed on the very top. So it hasn't run down the sides. I mean, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. So I mean, this is just local right here on the top itself. But it's definitely, yeah, it's gearable. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off, and you're going to find out what's inside this tank with me. And I'm hoping it's not full, because if it is, that means basically the drive was almost empty, which would make absolutely no sense either, because this is a puke tank, not necessarily a catch-all tank. Well, there's actually nothing inside. And it looks like something's down there in the bottom, but that's actually fiberglass. I did that so this would be level. And no matter what, whenever it filled up, it'd want to go right on back down this tube. But there's definitely been something in it. Not much. Now I'm trying to feel down the sides here, see if there's been actually a full tank or not. And to be honest with you, I don't think. I mean, I should have a lot more up underneath of here. Yeah, maybe. Well, the bottom line is it all went back in the V drive, which is a good thing. I'm just wondering why it wants to spit like a monster. But it is a monster, so you put all these pieces together and damn. I mean, the cap is screened just for this, but maybe the screen got wet, splashed a few times, and then blew a bubble out or something. I don't know. But at the moment, I don't think it's a big concern because it's not in a bilge, or I would have saw it drip out all over the place just a little while ago when I drained the hull. So, always got to end on a mystery. It almost worked. Maybe it was just a little overfilled. We're going to have to keep an eye on it, that's for sure. But at the moment, like I said, there's no water in it, so that's a plus. That was test drive number 1, I believe. We filled it up with water because the seals did not seal. Learned a lot about V drives. Alright, last but not least, we got to flush the V drive and the drip for the prop shaft. I'm not so worried about the drip for the prop shaft. The V drive is made of aluminum, so I'm really a little more concerned about it. But we have flow, and that's where the V drive dumps at. So I think we're flushed. Yeah, it's nice to see it working too, because it just works off of what it scoops out of that shell. You know, if you're just putting around, you don't need to cool the V drive, and the shaft's fine. It's just when it actually starts getting out of the water, it starts burning up the cutlass bearings and stuff. And the V drive gets a little hot, but that's plenty of water. In reality, it's a little too much maybe coming out of the prop shaft cooler. But I don't think any extra would hurt it anyway. Alright, race mode keys. Mark's 5 keys to happiness. I've used that joke before, haven't I? Alright, let's go over this real quick before my battery dies. We're back home. The boat's covered up. We call that a successful day. We've learned a little bit too now. I mean, this has been fun because with other problems taken care of, we've been able to concentrate more on the finesse of the boat itself. And one of the things I was doing on the way up to the Key Bridge was throttle adjustment and trying to even them out, even though they are geared just slightly different from one another, just because that's the only available gears that I have right now. Still always looking. But you'd feather one, and the way the motors were, like you'd bring up the rear motor just a little bit, and the front motor would like yo-yo forward. It would be like if you kind of like broke traction, so to speak, or you came up out of the water a little bit. It would just kind of rev forward, and it was real hard to kind of get them to kind of come back to in the level that they were supposed to be in. It would either be the rear motor would be working real hard and the front motor would just be kind of like skimming along, or vice versa. And it just, you know, it just, and you could really kind of get the RPMs zinging up there. But I mean, when I just mashed it and went for it, they both kind of, you know, started sinking up a little further because, you know, they do have a top end. It's really hard to explain. I would never want to do it during a race. I would have to there would have to be the number one thing would have to be to find the proper gears for the V drive. I mean, for what I do, it's awesome. It's no big deal. But that would be something I would have to do no matter what, to kind of keep them a little more synced in. Because, I mean, if you're out and offshore and you're like blasting out of waves and stuff, you need to be able to yank them back pretty much, you know, side by side. Not like this one over here and that one over there, and then you got to kind of like that. It just, you know, it would never work out if you were actually out pounding out on the ocean. So that's something I have to work on. I mean, that's a goal in the future. But like I said, we had a hell of a run there, and the boat hasn't run any better than that. It still needs a little tweaking. I had to adjust the idles up a little bit. They settled out, you know, when they were settling out and they wanted to like be in gear, they wanted to be around 500 RPMs, 600 RPMs. And as much as I like having them idle at 700 RPMs, they are not liking going in gear at, you know, you know, so it's something I had to bump up a little bit. Somewhere around 850, 800, somewhere around there right now. We'll see how that works out. And if it don't, then hey, well, I mean, I've had them up as high as 900 before. The 19, it runs around 800 around there too. So, but it seems like a very calm 800. I don't understand the whole thing compared to the race boat. I mean, it's like difference between a 496 and a 427 tall block. Besides that, they got pretty much stroked and done the same things too. I don't know, but hey, all in all, this day has been like very few other days have been. So off to another day. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. It's going to be a really cold winter. You're really going to be bored. You're really going to need somebody to talk to. And I can talk your damn ear off. So like, subscribe. Like, subscribe. See ya. My stick just come out and I didn't even see a girl. That'd be witty. 7 minutes and 49 seconds. Totally killed the battery doing it. Finally, the Fiberglass Freedom Machine is here. Are you focusing while I'm doing that? Alright, fix it. I don't want to be here for all day either. We may break down. Got me? I saw that Deadpool. Actually, it was an outtake of Deadpool. That's copyright infringement for a song I hate. Come on, Tulane, hurry up. All right, focus, baby, focus. It's important. Wait, that's good enough.